Hi guys, welcome back to my XVS guide. Now I'm gonna review Dark Knight Luneth. So let's start from his stats. So I can say his stats is really amazing, especially on his normal form. Maybe you are confused why, because his Brave Shift form get plus 200 raw attack, but let me explain. On the normal form, he gets 150% machine, undead, aquatic, and demon killers. Yes, 4 killers in one character, and he has buffs on his normal form to improve those killers. So yes, he is pretty strong on right situation. And if you take a look on his Brave Shift form, sure, it gets nice offensive stats like 300% through double hand, 200% attack, but the problem is he doesn't have any health, defense, spirit boost. So maybe you say, oh, that's not important. Sure, on some situation it is not important, but on some situation this defensive stats can be nightmare, because that means he needs additional abilities to gear up. Luckily, yes, it is his Brave Shift form, not his normal form. So you won't encounter survival problem against preemptive attack, because on start of battle you start with normal form. Okay, and his Brave Shift form only gets 150% undead killer, so I don't see any reason to move into Brave Shift form unless of course you also fight against undead, and yeah, you also want to use Brave Shift specific abilities, which will be covered later. But yes, that's it for his stats. Quite nice because of the killers will be very useful on Dark Vision. Now let's talk about his normal form. So on normal form, he can chain with Onion Slice and Mirror of Equity. If you take a look here, maybe you say, but the damage modifier is not special. Yes, I agree. Okay, only 60 times and 40 times. I think the base number for damage modifier is 72, so yes, it is below standard, but you need to remember that he has amazing killers. And again, like I said, he has undead, demon, aquatic killer buff on this normal form. So yes, on right situation you may want to use him more than other characters who has better damage modifier. And he also able to give your party 250% attack and magic buff and 100% dark resist. This is really great because 250% are top tier even on today standard. Okay, so yes, you can use this. I mean, you can use him as a buffer because of this. Very nice. And talking about element, he only able to imperil one element, dark. Okay, 120%. Maybe that's good, but only one element. So if you want to use other elements than dark, then make sure your partner able to imperil that element for Dark Knight Luneth. He also able to break the enemy, but again, I think it's not reliable because it is only 70% attack magic or defense spirit. Okay, I think the minimum you need to have right now is 75%. So this 70%, while good, maybe not useful at all. Okay, and he also able to recover 2000 health and 20 MP to all allies. Remember that he has triple cast, so that means 6000 health and 60 MP per turn if you really need it. Very nice. And his grandest ability, it gives him 150% limit burst damage for 4 turns. So this is nice for his limit burst. And because this lasts for 4 turns, that means you can use this on normal form and yes, for his Brave Shift limit burst. And this, that means it can deal, let's say you reach 300% limit burst damage, you can deal 264 times damage. Maybe you say it is not amazing at all. Yes, I kind of agree, but remember he has killers, and this limit burst also gives you 200% aquatic and demon killer. So on right situation, this LP can become really deadly finisher. Okay, remember about that. So that's all for his normal form. Now let's talk about Brave Shift form. On his Brave Shift form, he able to chain with Stardust Ray and Mirror of Equity. So yes, you lose Onion Slice, but I think Onion Slice is not good chaining family because it is very hard to chain. And I can say that this form has a little bit better damage modifier. But again, when you can use your killers, normal form is still better. And one thing I want to mention here, which I haven't mentioned before on normal form, is his Stardust Ray and Mirror of Equity Chainer Dispel stats buff. What I mean by stats buff is attack, defense, magic, spirit. And this thing really unique and special, and one of the things that makes him really good, because if you remember that yes, lots of enemies able to buff their attack, and if you dispel them, you also lose your breaks and imperil. But with Dark Knight Luneth on your party, you won't have that problem. You may say that, oh, I have Lorraine. Yes, Lorraine able to dispel stats buff too, and it is superior, but again, she cannot spam that attack. That's the biggest problem. Okay, yes, these two skills only dispel attack, defense, magic, spirit buff, but again, you can use it every time you want. This thing is really useful as long as the enemy doesn't increase elemental resist, of course, or other thing. So yes, this one really make him stand out on this game. And on this Brave Shift form, he also able to become finisher. Okay, and if you use it with Grandest ability, his Grandest, combine it with Dark Blade Kirisaki, two Dark Blade Kirisaki, you deal 460 times damage. So yes, I must say this is amazing, but the problem is his abilities cost health. And using this combo, Grandest plus 2 Dark Blade Kirisaki, use 100% health. So make sure you use your healing when you use him. That means you won't die, okay? Because yes, that means when he use your health, your healer gonna heal him, and that means he is good to go, won't die. But if you mess up your timing, he can die. Okay, so be careful about that. And yes, that's all for his Brave Shift form. The last thing is his Limit Burst. I can say that this Limit Burst is better than his normal form in terms of damage modifier. But remember, on his Brave Shift form, he doesn't have Limit Burst damage buff. Sure, your normal form gives you 4 turns for 150% limit burst damage, but again, that may be quite complicated on the battle. So that's all for his Brave Shift form. Now let's talk about equipment. For equipment, he is quite flexible because he can become true double hand or true dual wield, okay? But I think it's better to make him into true dual wield, especially if you want to use him as a chaining partner for other characters, because he only can imbue himself with dark element. And yes, on true dual wield, he also has that plus 6 times change damage modifier, so there's nothing wrong. Maybe you say that, oh, that his Trust Mastery were not gonna useful on his true dual wield. Yes, that's correct, but I think it's still pretty decent because it still offers you 30% attack and 50% demon killer. You can also use Katana or his STMR, but remember that will lock you to dark element, something not you want to do if you fight the enemy who resists against dark. Of course, that's pretty obvious, but yes, very easy to gear. And for partner, he is also like Onion Knight Ravia. He is good when you partner him with basically anyone who is able to chain with Stardust Ray, Mirror of Equity, and maybe Onion Slice. But do you want to use that Onion Slice move? I don't think so, right? Because it is hard to chain. And Yes, I think he is really great because his Stardust Ray and Absolute Mirror of Equity always dispel enemy stats buff. So he is really great on trial like in Tangier, where you need to dispel its attack, magic, defense, spirit buff. Okay, so really nice, and that's all for equipment and partner. My conclusion for Dark Knight Luneth. So I can say that he is one of the best Neo Vision in terms of killers because whoa, he has 4 killers, 150% and self buff on the battle. So he is really insane on right situation like certain trial and dark vision. Okay, really nice. And his special Dispel really makes him stand out even when you don't fight against the enemies he's strong against. I can say he is still worth to be used if you need that Dispel. Okay, amazing. And because he able to chain with Mirror of Equity, Stardust Ray, he can be easily included. Yeah, he can be included easily on any party composition. Okay, really nice. And I think his Trust Master reward is one of the best Trust Master on this game if you use through double hand characters because it is really slot efficient. Okay, really good. But his Super Trust Master reward, I don't like it that much. First, because it has quite low attack, 168, and yes, it has dark element. It is nice if you really need dark katana, but again, the attack is low, nothing special like LP damage boost or something, so I don't think it is really that good. Okay, so congratulations if you have Dark Knight Luneth or Dispel Knight Luneth, I must say, because yeah, very good. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more Final Fantasy Private Views guide. Bye bye guys.